Hello, fellow readers, and welcome back to Frustrated Book Purists. Frustrated Book Purists is a series where we review and compare TV and film adaptations to their books. As a reminder, these are our own personal opinions. They are by no means the opinion of the library or all of the staff at the library, and they are sometimes even the unpopular opinion. We are here strictly to let you know how the film or TV adaptation compares to the book or the books. So let's get on with this month's adaptation. A popular middle grade and teen series, we will be looking at Enola Holmes this month, and particularly the first book of the series, The Case of the Missing Marquess. Let's get started. Enola Holmes has led a sheltered life in the country with her mother. On Enola's 14th birthday, her mom disappears, seemingly without a trace. Enola spends the day searching without any success. At tea time, as instructed by Eudoria, Enola's mother, Mrs. Lane, the housekeeper, gives Enola her birthday gifts: an art kit, a homemade book of ciphers, and a book on the meanings of flowers and plants. The next day, having had no success finding her mom on her own, Enola sends out telegrams to her much older brothers, Mycroft and Sherlock. When Mycroft and Sherlock arrive, they are shocked at the state of the manor house, the lands, and Enola's lack of a proper upbringing. While Sherlock investigates their mother's disappearance, Mycroft begins making arrangements for Enola's proper upbringing, getting fitted for the correct undergarments, the correct attire, and her enrollment at a boarding school. During this period of time, Enola is starting her own investigation of her mother's disappearance, as she is eluding even Sherlock. Enola discovers that solving the ciphers in her mom's homemade book leads her to caches of money squirreled away only for Enola. Let's first discuss the case of Enola's missing mother. Enola is greatly concerned about her mother in the book and in the movie. One of the major differences between the adaptation and the book is that her mother is part of a group of suffragettes. There is not a lot of clarity when they discuss Eudoria's plan. You don't know the motive behind it. And I have a problem with this change in motives. Now, strictly in the book, we know that Eudoria left because she wanted her freedom. She was tired of the constructs of society. She wanted to be free. She wanted to make her own decision. She wanted Enola to have that same right. Adaptation has taken this general sense of freedom for women, decision making on their own, and not concentrating on the aspect of freedom, but giving them something to fight for. Eudoria left the money for Enola so that she would have the means to live her life the way that Enola wants to live her life, to make her own decisions, to determine her own path in life, and to have that sense of independence and not feel like she has to rely on her brothers or a male figure in her life to make her decisions for her. On to the case of the missing Marquess. So this is completely unrecognizable from the case of the missing Marquess in the book. In the book, we have a young 12-year-old boy, the Viscount Tewkesbury, Marquess of Basilwether, who runs away searching for adventure. And because of him running away, we have 3 criminals, ne'er-do-wells, who take advantage of him missing to kidnap him and request ransom money. In the adaptation, we have a young man of probably 18 to 21 years of age who is about to take his seat in the House of Lords and is the deciding vote and we have a family member who is trying to keep within the bounds of tradition and the history of England, not looking forward in time. This makes for a very different story. First of all, we have the aging up of both of our characters and the inclusion of a love interest. In the book, Tewkesbury and Enola form a friendship bond. They become very close in searching for and solving the mystery of their captors. No need for the inclusion of a love interest. They're perfectly fine as friends. And this is a problem I have on whole with Hollywood. They think that they need to age up characters. Every story needs to be a love story. At least 2 characters need to be shipped together for kids and youths of any age to be interested in the story. And that is not so at all. So this is a major divergence from Springer's novel. One of the things that I really actually quite enjoyed about the adaptation is that it kept with the first person telling of the story. We get to see everything from Enola's perspective, even to the point where Millie Bobby Brown, who plays Enola, she breaks the 4th wall. She directly looks into the camera and addresses the audience, even asks them questions at some points. And it's really brilliantly done. However, this is where my liking of the adaptation ends. They have really greatly changed not only the order of events in the adaptation and in the story, but they have changed the motives of the characters, and that really changes the story on the whole. In conclusion, is Enola Holmes, the Netflix adaptation, interesting to watch? Yes. Is it a worthwhile watch as something completely different from its source material, the book by Nancy Springer? It's okay. it brings, would I recommend it? Probably not, just because it is based on that book and it is completely different from that book. There's so much going on during that time period, and the motives of the characters in that time period and wanting change, and the added danger and the added intrigue just doesn't add up to what the book offers you. And going forth in the series, you have a young girl who has been given the means to be independent and to forge her own way in her life and to make her own decisions. And at the end of the book, she does that. She has a kind of career that she has set up. She has 2 aliases and disguises that she uses to help 2 different parts of society. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed this review of Enola Holmes, the Netflix adaptation. If you have a comment or question, feel free to leave it down in the comment section below. And really want to hear your opinions as well. Have you read the book? Have you watched the adaptation? And do you think they did a good job, or was it really poorly done? I always like hearing different opinions from my own. So, we will be together again next month. I have a special review of a brand new adaptation that I was really looking forward to, and is an intriguing look at adaptations. I quite like it. So, thank you for joining us. Come and visit us again, and have a good day.